This is the Emergent method of research. This can be used by journalists, private investigators, police investigators, anybody who's trying to figure out the missing link or the missing connections, because you don't know the whole picture when you start an investigation, and so you have it piecemeal and you have it piece by piece, and oftentimes there may be something that you're missing and it just has to fit in a certain way, but you have to find that connection. You don't know what it is. So what do you start with first? You get the basic information. So what we have here is a missing individual by the name of Billy Joe. Here's what you know. He went to a date on June 27, 2008. He went to this cafe date, so let's go ahead and click on that. The cafe was located at Madison Square Garden, let's say, for example. And you can say perhaps even what time was it at exactly. He was supposed to go there, so it started at this time, and then it ended at this time. And I want you to notice something here for each of these notes here. This one has a tag that says person, and then this one had a tag that says event. For both of these are going to be used later. All right, so you also have the Madison Square Garden having a tag as well with location, right? Which doesn't really matter too much, but you might want to go ahead and, since it's a location, right, go ahead and throw the map, maybe a picture of the map of this location, right? So you can go ahead and drop in a picture of this Madison Square Garden cafe and drop it in here, and then you could also perhaps draw on that map before you drop it in here the route he took going there, once you find that out. And then of course, let's go back. So now we have a couple bits of information here. You go to his apartment, right? So it's saying his friend, his roommate, Bubba Jones, which said the following. And you notice here how Bubba Jones is dark gray and final text is lighted up. So I had final text with that final text. Said, "Hey man, I am heading back home. I am taking a taxi." All right, so that was the text, and you got that from this individual, Bubba Jones, who was the individual who probably reported the crime. So let's say he reported Billy Joe as missing. All right, and then he provided the final text he got. And then we'll go ahead and final text, put that there. Right, so now we're seeing additional connections to this final text note. All right, and we also have no longer have a grayed out individual for this. So we know this guy, is the missing individual. This one is the roommate. Oh, we actually didn't put that there. So he is the roommate of missing individual. And okay, that's all great and all. So let's look at the visual of this. Okay, here we go. Now we see where these tags are coming into play. These tags have been color-coded. I've gone ahead and tagged events as certain colors, persons as certain colors, and locations as certain colors. And you can add more tags as you wish as you're making this a little bit more complex. You can drag these around, and you'll see, however, different connections. Originally, Billy Joe was the only thing connecting to final text, but then we added that connection at Bubba Jones as well. So now you have this sort of larger picture. Now you may try to figure out, okay, so let's see here. He was at a date, so we don't know who was the date. Question mark, right? Who was the date? Well, to find that out, everybody has their methods, right? You might ask the roommate, what dating apps did he use, right? Or what dating websites? And you can go ahead and add that in. Let's go ahead and actually, before we add something here, as part of your interview with Bubba Jones, you would ask him that question. So then, Bubba Jones, Bubba Jones said roommate used, or instead of saying roommate, it gets complicated. It said Billy Joe used what is a popular one? Tinder. Okay. All right. So just any kind of name, or he used Tinder, and then on Tinder, his you might say his Tinder, and then put a dash here, profile name, right? So we'll probably put that profile name as this actual note, right? So we'll say, I don't know if Tinder has profile names, but we'll say hot dude 47. All right, hot dude 47. All right, so now we got that information. There might be some others, but we're also trying to figure out, hey, how did he leave this date if he indeed left on his own accord? How did he get to it? You might ask, do you know what rideshare apps he used, or do you know if he typically took the bus? And the roommate might say he said this guy often used Uber. All right, and then so now you need to go ahead and contact Uber and find out who his driver was, what time he took the ride going there, what time he may have taken one back. So you can go here, say ride 1, and make another link. And then potential ride 2. Right? Same thing. You're going to make a ghost link here, and then you're going to get that information as you go along. So let's go back and look at the graph view. It's getting more and more complex. You're seeing more and more potential connections here. Oh, we're noticing we didn't do something. Bubba Jones, he hasn't been appropriately tagged. So we can go ahead and just tag him as appropriate person. All right, go back to that. Boom. So it looks a little more clear. And again, you can go ahead and maybe make a document tag. You can make social media tag. You could make a company tag. You could make, transportation tag. You can make this as complicated or keep it as simple as you like. The whole point is you're trying to uncover what's going on. And of course, the big thing here is, who was this date with, right? Who was this date with? And we're going to say, I don't know what to call this person on date with Billy Joe, right? And we can change this later. You can go back and you can just change it once you create it. And once you get this information, if you find out who that was, you can actually change it right here and it'll update everywhere else. So, oh, hey, and again, you notice something, person on date with Billy Joe. Make sure you know that it should be a person, hopefully, unless he's going on a date with AI. There you go. So you got your 3 individuals and all your other stuff. Again, you're trying to find these emergent connections to find out what's going on, right? And you may find out something sinister, or it may be something innocent. That's all the course of your investigation. So I hope this tool might be useful to you to help you find those emergent connections.